Now, the presidential election of the United States is about to start now, just as I'm talking to you. And by the time we are done with this video, the election should be over and a winner should have been declared. But for the now, we're expecting excessive market volatility and break of multiple market structures around the world. From Forex to stocks to crypto, and the list goes on. Most of these are expected to create either major highs or major lows in the market. And that's where we come in, because that's exactly what we'll be riding on today, trading within this period for the next 48 hours. Then just before we go on now, if you're new to this YouTube channel, just remember to hit on subscription button, hit on like button, and also remember to turn the notification bell so you don't miss any videos I'll be dropping out from this place. So that not to waste so much time, let's dive in now. Boom. Okay guys, now this is exactly what we're having today, right? And then what we'll just be using today will just be a US 100, also known as NASDAQ, and also known as US Tech, right? Now if you want to know the broker that we'll be using, is you can easily just check in the description box there. You should actually see the link to the broker that we're actually using on our unlimited leverage, right? And if you want to use the broker, of course the link is actually just down below there also. Now the mission here is this: number one, we're going to be analyzing these charts. That is me and you. We'll be analyzing the charts right now live before our eyes, and then we'll be checking out every single aspect of this chart to know if we'll be storming on buys or if we'll be storming on sells. And then the next mission will be to storm into this particular trade at the exact points that is needed. Then thirdly, we're going to go into a private group and we're going to drop this particular trade there now so that they can actually storm into this particular trade. And lastly, after a few minutes, we'll just go straight to the free group and also drop this particular trade so that every single person can cash out smoothly just like that. All right, now this is exactly what we're having currently on a NASDAQ, right? And then we can literally see that this particular stuff, first of all, I'm checking this particular stuff on a 50 minutes time frame, okay? And I already said that the broker that I'm using currently at this particular spot, I already dropped the link in the description box. And lastly, what I'm using here is all limited leverage, so you don't have to ask that also in the comment section, right? Okay, now this is exactly what we're having now, right? Now let's actually just map out this particular stuff. Now mapping out the stuff, we can notice that this particular stuff is fluctuating towards the bottom, right? It was dropping down, like on a massive retracement, right? And then we started noticing a series of rejections towards about this range, right? A series of rejections. Let me just quickly just zoom this particular stuff in a little bit. Okay, now this is what we're having. You can literally see the rejections, right? You can see the rejections right at the spot, and then you can see the massive drop or retracement. This stuff is 15 minutes time frame, right? And then what can you see now is happening at about this spot? It started playing at about this spot, right? It started playing at about this spot on a nice consolidation. Like let me show you that. Now you can literally see it was dropping down smoothly, and then it got towards the class spot, and it seems like it's getting suspended, right? It's not crossing the spot, right? Look at it. It hit the spot and it just couldn't, right? A lot of rejections here, and then you see them here, you see same thing here, you see same thing here, and then what do you notice? Started going up, ascending gradually, right? And then what do you notice here? A major rejection. And what do you notice here also? A major rejection, and here major, and here another rejection. And then after that, what do you notice now? Let's map this particular stuff out. Can you see that? You can see it, right? You can see that this particular stuff has been projected out of the downward retracement completely, and now what we can actually see is actually an upward movement already. Now we are actually having a higher possibility of a push in this market. So what we're just going to do now is we're going to zoom this market out again and see what this particular stuff is saying now. It will make a lot of sense. Now can you see this entire movement we're having here? So what are we expecting now? We're expecting that this particular stuff is just going to what? It's just going to push up smoothly like that, right? It's just going to push up. And then if we want to check out this particular stuff now, what do you notice? It hit the spot second, third. This was our third touch, and this is what was supposed to make it drop down if it wanted to drop down, but it did not, right? Instead, it kept pushing up and creating more steps. So what are we expecting now in this particular spot? For it to push up, right? And now all we just need to look for now, we already know that this particular stuff has already broken the downward movement, and now it wants to push up again, right? It wants to continue the upward movement. And then secondly, we already know that this particular stuff is actually on a step that is pushing up, and it has actually crossed our third touch, which is supposed to be this, right? And then lastly now is to get our entry point, and to get our entry point is actually very easy. What do we notice? We notice that the chart was pushing up, right? And then after that, what do we notice happened at this particular spot? We notice that it hit this particular zone and then dropped down, right? And finally crossed at this spot, dropped down, and then what do we notice again at this particular zone? we notice that it took some time. It took a while before it could cross the spot again, right? And so what do we call levels like this? So this is actually an internal level, right? You can literally see it, right? So this is actually an internal resistance at about the spot. And then what do you notice happening here? It can't really cross this particular zone, right? So what do we think is going to happen now? It's just going to push up smoothly just like that, right? So that where will our stop loss be? Our stop loss can just be maybe right below this particular level. That's below this particular candlesticks. Let's just say it like this. Let's just say in between this particular zone, right? Now what we're expecting now is for this particular stop to push up smoothly like that, and after that hits this particular zone at about the spot. Right now this will be our first take profit, and after that we should be expecting a zone like this as our second take profit, and after that we should be expecting this particular zone as our third take profit, right? Smoothly just like that. And if you gone through our MC100 class or any of our mentorship classes at all, you should understand the exact reason why we're trying to place all those levels as a take profit, because the market will be so volatile, right? The market will be so volatile because, well, the presidential election is actually running just as we're speaking. So because of that, immediately as our third take profit is hit, we'll go into a locking we go into a locking mode, right? Where we'll just be locking in our profits as the movement keeps on. We'll just be locking in our profits and stocking in more positions if we want to, right? We'll just be stocking in more positions and be locking in our profit. So guys, what are we waiting for? Let's turn into Breakout trade now, guys. Now first of all, our capital is roughly like 700, okay, 740, right? So that's exactly what we're having there. And yeah, so let's actually just go into our trade now. So let's just stock in on 0.1. Let's use maybe like 0.3, right? 0.3. Stock in two more trades. Okay, let's just add one more trade. Okay, that's it, right? So we'll just add one more trade. That's it. Let's actually just quickly drop this particular trade now in a private channel first, and after a few minutes, like I already told you, we'll just drop it in a free channel, right? So for the now, let's actually just quickly drop this in a private channel. Okay, guys, we'll just wait now for the next few minutes and actually just says Backtesting actually goes.
A few moments later.
Okay, guys, now this is exactly what you're having. These actually just hit a stop loss, guys. These actually just hit a stop loss. It literally hit. I was expecting for maybe a rejection or something, because this was supposed to be a stop loss. So I was expecting maybe a magic might just happen and then a rejection will just occur and then it pushes up. But guys, it kept dropping, guys. It kept dropping. It actually just completely broke out. That's if we draw it within a week, it actually just completely broke out around this region. You can literally see that, right? Just completely broke out. So it was around this region. So I was expecting maybe a rejection candlestick would get formed, and after which it should push back up, but I wasn't seeing anything like that, guys. I guess we'll just take our L, guys. We just take our L and actually just move this particular trade. Right. Okay, guys, so this is exactly what we're having, just about 679. That's what we're having currently, and it's actually cool, guys. It's actually cool. That's just a little price to pay for these political events and things like that, right? Because the momentum currently is just not really understandable, right? Now how it broke out from this particular spot through to this level is actually really amazing, right? But then what are we noticing now on this particular chart? We notice that it actually just dropped down towards particular spot, right? Now it actually just dropped down towards particular level to just suspend at about the spot. So what are we expecting now, right? First of all, what is this? What occurred here? This is actually a mini order block, right? That actually occurred at this particular region. And then instead of this stuff being sad, is actually really nice, right? Because look, it's actually very interesting, because from this range now we should expect some massive movements, right? Towards the top, right? But then we are not taking that risk, right? So what we're just going to do is we're going to use a double step confirmation, right? So even though we know it's going to push up, we don't want to go into a double streak of loss, right? So we're going to go for a re-entry, right? Of course, we're going to go for a re-entry. And so what we just wait for is for this particular stuff to push up above this level, closes above this level, right? So it closes above this level, and then the next verification will be this. We'll have to wait for it to break above this particular level that is actually at this particular spot, and then immediately as it breaks above this level and closes above this level, then we can storm into this Breakout trade, guys. So guys, we'll just wait now for the next few minutes. I actually say Breakout actually goes.
A few moments later.
Boom. All right. Okay, guys. Now, this is exactly what you're having now. Now the market is looking really perfect, right? It's looking really perfect now. Now look at this particular movement. Now, what do we notice here? We notice that it actually just did exactly what we calculated. So it hit a mini order block, right? Well, where it actually took us out, it's okay. And then after that, it pushed up, right? And then you can literally see the a break of structure at about this region, and then we're just waiting for it to close above it, right? So to make sure that the breakout it's fully complete. And so boom, what are we seeing now? The formation change just got completed, and then the momentum of the chart currently is really impressive, right? It's really impressive. So guys, what can we do now? We can easily storm into speculation, right? And then this time around, our stop loss to just be towards at about this region, right? Towards at about this region, yeah. And then let's see, let's take this stuff out. Okay, good. So our stop loss will just be towards the middle of this particular region, yeah. And then of course our first take profit will now be looking at this particular spot, and then our second take profit towards particular level, and then our third take profit towards particular level, right? That's just exactly what we'll be looking at. And of course you already know how we're placing our take profit levels smoothly like that. So guys, what can we do now? We can easily zoom into this particular trade, right? Okay, now just before we zoom into this particular trade, let's just quickly drop this particular stuff again. That's this time around we're giving a re-entry, right? So we'll just drop this particular stuff now in a private channel, right? So let's just quickly drop it. Okay, so that will be US 100 NASDAQ. So let's just quickly drop it again. Let's just use 0.4. Let's go with 0.7. Just one more trade. That will be the last. That will be the last trade, right? That will be the last trade. And so guys, that just as perclassive actually goes. So we already know our stop loss level, and we already know our take profit levels. And then after a few minutes, that's immediately after this stuff start pushing now, after a few minutes we are just going to drop it also in the free, right? So for the now, only those on the private channel are currently in this trade. So after a few minutes we'll actually drop this exact trade again in a free, so that every single person can actually cash out from this trade smoothly, just like that, guys.
A few moments later.
All right, okay guys, now this is exactly what you're having. Now what do we notice? We just noticed that this particular stop actually has just been moving really smoothly, right? And then what do we notice at about this spot? We notice a build up, right? After which it broke out of our build up, and now it's coming back to our formation here, which we can call what a mini order block again, right? And then what do you think is just going to happen? What happened here is just going to repeat itself, right? Only this time around we'll be catching this one, right? So guys, what can we easily do now? It pushed up to a particular level, back to a mini order block. So guys, we can easily storm into this particular trade again, right? So we are actually having a higher free margin now. We're back to like 741 of free margin, and of course we're actually having a profit of about 309, roughly 300. And of course our equity is just almost $1,000 currently, which is actually very smooth. So guys, what we just do now is this time around let's just use a lot of, let's say, like 1 day, as we just wait now and actually see how this particular actually goes. Remember, I already told you the broker we're using. I already dropped the link in the description box, so you can easily just hit on the link. And then the time frame we're using is actually a 15 minutes time frame.
A few moments later.
Okay guys, now this is exactly what we're having currently, right? So it's actually getting late, kind of like really late over here now. So what we'll just be doing is we'll just be continuing tomorrow. Right now the market has just been pushing really smooth, guys. The market has just been pushing, and the funny thing is not only just NASDAQ. If you go and check US 30, similar stuff is just moving really crazily. And if you go and check all the cryptos, you go and check, like, let's say your Bitcoin and the rest of them, they are also pushing aggressively as I'm speaking to you now. So but we're actually trying to cash a NASDAQ here, right, which is actually moving really smoothly. So guys, what we just wait for now is we'll just wait again for the next few hours, right? So we'll just be back tomorrow, and hopefully this market is actually pushing up very smoothly, because the momentum of this chart is actually really sick, guys. So we're trying to ride on the election news. So guys, we'll just be back tomorrow and actually see how this podcast actually goes.
One eternity later.
Boom. Okay guys, now this is exactly what we're actually having. Now let me just quickly notify you, I couldn't really record, right? So I just had to go into a trade here, right? Again, I couldn't really record that because a lot of stuff were actually up. So I actually literally went into this using my mobile device, right? So I just couldn't. But then why I actually went into this particular trade was that I saw that this particular stuff was actually dropping down smoothly towards particular zone, right? And then first of all, it created the first torch at about this spot, and then what we noticed after that, it created the second torch right at about this spot, and after that it became a trend on its own. So I just had to map it out. After mapping it out, I just simply stormed into this particular trade, just easy, right? That was just it, right? So we map this particular stuff. Let me show you what I'm talking about. So this was the first spot, and then after that I noticed the rejection at about this spot, and then I was expecting maybe it would drop down towards particular zone. If it drops down, we can easily just go into some trades. But then I noticed that the major rejection occurred here. It gave us this massive bullish candlestick at about this spot, and and after that I noticed that it just gave us what they call it now, a morning start about this spot again. So what do I think? I just know that it will just keep pushing up, right? So all I just simply did was to just storm into specular trade on a series of two lot sizes like that. Let me just show you that on a series of like two lot sizes, right? A few two lot sizes trades, and after that yeah, so after that was it. So you just kept pushing like that, and now I had time to record, so I actually just came back, right? And also guys, when going through the video from yesterday, I discovered that I didn't really give you an update as to when the orders actually stormed into this trade, as those on our free channel, right? So I actually dropped this specular trade on the free channel just at about this spot, right? So immediately after we went into this trade at about this zone, I dropped the trade at about this, just at about this spot, right? So that they can actually join also. And so after that, we just noticed that the trade just kept pushing up like that. So I actually forgot to give you that particular update, right? And so everything is literally in a free Telegram channel. So if you want to join, of course the link is actually down below. You can see all of these trades there, right? I actually dropped all of these trades there for those in the free channel to actually just join the private, so that everyone can actually cash out, guys, so that everyone can simply just cash out from the market. So guys, that's just how specular stuff actually goes. So after that, we noticed that it just kept pushing, and so I had to state also there, if you check on our free channel also, you notice there that I stated that you can literally lock in your profit and just keep waiting for this specular stuff to just keep pushing. And after some time, I actually stated also that, well, you can all cash out if you want to, right? You can all cash out, but I just decided to remain in this trade. So I told those in private channel first, because all their take profits were hit smoothly, and after that I just told those on the free channel also that, okay, if you're tired of locking in, you can actually just cash out from the market, right? So I decided to remain in the trade, and I will still be remaining in this trade. I'm not planning on leaving this trade anytime soon, right? I'm not planning on leaving this trade, right? So I will just be holding this trade again for the next few hours, and I'll be updating on Instagram, right, how this specular trade actually goes, right? I'll also update on Telegram, of course. I'll also update on Telegram. Okay guys, now that just as specular stuff actually goes. So guys, we're able to just storm into a NASDAQ, and the NASDAQ has just been moving really smoothly. But then for every video that actually hit over 1,000 likes within 24 hours, that's before we hit our 100,000 subscribers, I'll actually be coming back to that video, and I'll be selecting 3 random traders from the comment section that I will just be funding $3,000 each smoothly, just like that. So that if you're new to the specular YouTube channel, just remember to hit the subscription button, hit the like button, and also remember to turn the notification bell so you don't miss any videos that will be dropping out from this place. So that just as specular stuff actually goes, guys. It's a bye from guys. So Mr. P. Peace.